Now I will pass over the mic to you. You may introduce yourself.
Nice. Hi, I'm Rumbi. I am 28 and I am a biomedical engineer, and I also have a podcast that I host. I recently started it. It's really fresh, but I'm really, really excited about doing it. It's fun. It's an outlet for me to get to speak and just express my mind and gather my thoughts. And yeah, that's about it, really.
Awesome, awesome. So what got you passionate into the career that you're in right now?
Well, um, I mean, I'm from a family of people who are in the medical field.
Hmm.
And so from a young age, I knew I was destined to be working at somewhere in a hospital. I'm way too squeamish to be a doctor or nurse. And I loved biology growing up. And slowly but surely, as I went up and up in my education, I ended up doing science and biomedical engineering. It's something that I never even knew existed until I finished my undergrad, which I did in bioscience. So yeah, that's it really. Just from a young age, I was really into biology, and like I was exposed to the hospital basically. And then science happened. I was a huge nerd when I was a kid. So I think a lot of reading random encyclopedias led to me being what I am today.
That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. What was your favorite part of science class? Which part did you like the most about science class, if you had to say?
Well, for me, it was mostly just learning the interconnectedness of everything, like everything affects this and that, like this system affects the other system, like everything needs to be in cohesion and for us to be 100% healthy, right? So I was more excited about the tinier version, not the macro scale, but definitely the micro scale of science. And I think the first time that was sort of a thing for me, I think I was about maybe 13 or 14, where we dissected a heart, and then we had to, yeah, I know, that young. I know. And like we had the whole point of it was a very simple experiment. It was like an animal heart. I know it sounds so gross. It
That
really
does sound gross.
but like the whole purpose of it was for us to learn that valves connect through the heart and out the other side. So all we did, it wasn't anything extensive as you would do later on in like university or something, but we just opened up the heart and literally stuck our fingers through all the valves just to see. And I know it sounds crazy, but like doing that, I was like, oh my gosh, like things are happening in places that you don't expect to happen. Like, I'm just used to seeing humans on the outside, and like, yes, you're alive because you're blinking and there's a little bit of a pounding on your chest, but I really got curious about what's happening inside the entire cavity on not just like the organs, on the level of the organs, but also like what makes those organs work, what brings all the organs together. And that was it.
That's beautiful though. That's beautiful because you now know the human body. It's kind of weird how our bodies are like operated and made. It's just it freaks me out because like we got all these organs and the esophagus and the heart and the
I
lungs, and
know.
it's just like, oh, this is in me.
I know. It's insane.
Like you
It's
just
actually so crazy. But you know what? With all the education that I've gotten and the understanding of the human body that I have to say, it's kind of poorly designed.
oh wow.
For what we need it to do, it should be like a little bit more efficient. Something as simple as like, I'm sitting upright right now. My back muscles are holding me up, right? But right now they're activated. They're constantly working. Whereas like our back muscles like to be relaxed. They prefer to be relaxed. But then when you're relaxed, you hunch and then your neck comes down and then your spine starts bending and it's
Mhm.
not good for you. So why is it that the natural state of those muscles is something that's detrimental to me?
And then the life expectancy of a human too is just it's like you said, we are kind of poorly made because our life expectancies is crazy. Like our bodies could have been we could at least been made to like live for like at least hundreds and hundreds of years. But like the fact that we most of us live to be maybe 90-ish.
Yeah, I mean, recently they just released a study that said that there's actually a limit to human life. Like right now, we're part of an aging population, right? Everyone's getting older. More people are reaching 100, whatever it is. So you'd naturally think that that's just going to keep happening forever and ever. But apparently 150 years is our limit. We can't even physically, we can't go past that because our bodies are not made for that.
Dang, that's sad. Just to think about that.
I know, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
We get so brittle to where we're just like we can't take it. Dead.
Can't handle it. I mean, life is hard enough. I don't think I would want to reach 150.
You can't do nothing at 150. You're just gonna sit there all day.
Share with your thoughts. That's it.
Roll your little wheelchair around all day. That's probably the only thing you move is your hand. Everything else is gonna be brittle.
I know. But you know what? I'm so glad you're asking me about this because, like, although yes, I chose this career path, but I'm unemployed at the moment. COVID is the reason. And it's just insane. Like, this is probably the first time in like months that I'm talking to someone about my knowledge, and it's really nice. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. I'm glad because you get to share that knowledge with other people. Like, there's a lot of people who don't know how like the human system works and how this is going on, and all that stuff that they need to know that's going on with our body. Because
I know.
Because it's like if you know those facts, like at least you're prepared for it.
Exactly.
At least you're prepared for it, and that's what makes it so beautiful. Like it's good to have knowledge, and with that knowledge comes power, and with that power you can teach other people about things that like that.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. So what would you say is a positive message you would like to give to people around the world that want to be in your career field as a biomedical?
Wow. I've got to take a moment to think about that because I want to say it right, Well, it's a lot of work. It definitely is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh, you can just go into it. You need to be prepared to go into the sciences, whether it's life sciences or biological science, whatever. Specifically for me, to get to the point of being a biomedical engineer, you have to be a tough cookie. You need to put in a lot of work. You need to also have the passion. And that's the number one thing that I tell everyone. If you do not love this, don't do it because it will crush you. And I've seen, I had colleagues on my courses who, you could tell that they're not 100% into it. They have an interest. They like the idea of being a scientist, but there's a level of, especially what I did research, right? So you need to be always thinking ahead, always sort of pushing the boundaries, because that's what research in science is, basically, just trying to improve the life of everyone as much as you can. So you need to have that mindset from the get-go, and you need to have the passion for the subject that you pick.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it does. How long did it take? How long did it take to finish the whole course, the whole degree?
Oh man, see, it took me a while. It took me longer than what most people would do because halfway through my undergrad, I just could not. I unfortunately, that's when I got diagnosed with a few mental illnesses. So life was so hectic, but it ended up taking me a total of 5 years to get both my undergrad and my master's degree, whereas it would have been 4 years. Yeah, it would have been 4 years.
That's still not that bad though, if you think about it. That's still not bad at all, actually. Because there's people that have to go for 8.
You're right. You're so right. You're so right. And like part of it as well was by the time I went back, of like, let me just get this over and done with, because another aspect of it as well is timing, your age. Like if you don't get your degree or master's or PhD by a certain age, within the field, they're already kind of like, we only want young, fresh minds. And it's like, well, I am too, you know? But there was always that pressure, even going into it. I knew like most people do their degree in 3 years. Well, back in the UK where I lived, do your degree in 3 years. And when you're done, you do your master's in 1 year. And if you want to do PhD, you add another 4 years to that. And so you sort of had this roadmap. And if I didn't like sort of follow things when I was supposed to, it really messed with my mind. And I was like, oh no, I can't do this. But in the end, I did it. There was a time when I completely quit and I was like, education is not for me. Don't want to do it. It's too hard. It's too expensive. But the passion is what brought me back. So
you did it.
Just have to
you
keep
did
going,
it.
and I did it. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So what were some struggles that you faced on that journey?
Well, like I said, it was mostly my mental health. So I I was 2 years into my degree, loving it, enjoying it, but we just started the new year, the new school year. It's like September, October time. And I knew I wasn't feeling okay. I knew something was wrong. And that's always how it starts, right? Because you have no idea what's going on inside you, especially in your brain. So everything started to become very hard. You know, studying was harder, going to school was harder. And like it started getting harder on like a more personal level. So it started off broad, kind of like, oh, I'm too tired to work, so I'm going to go part-time. Oh, I'm too tired to go to school, so maybe I'll skip a couple of days this week. I can't even see my friends, can't text. Before I know it, I can't even shower. I can't even get out of my room. So I knew I had to go get help. And I did. And that's when I got diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and psychosis. So, and the psychosis is a result of both the depression and anxiety. I just want to point out, because a lot of people get this mistaken. Psychosis is not a diagnosis. Psychosis is a symptom. Just going to put it out there because a lot of people think that psychosis means, oh, you're crazy. No, psychosis comes as a result of other things. Anyway, so when that happened, I knew that I had to prioritize my mental health because I needed this big, beautiful brain to help me get a degree, right? And I couldn't do that if it wasn't performing at its best. So I had to quit, stop, and being from an African household, that's something that does not happen. You know, you don't talk about your mental health. And if you go to school, you don't quit because your entire family is like counting on you, right? Everyone's expecting you to come out with this degree and then get this good job and then, you know, live the life that everyone wants you to live. But I had to stop. And it was a really tough time because I had to spend a lot of time alone and then spend all this time speaking to nurses, doctors, whatever it is, and then get put on medication, whatever. But at the same time, all my friends that I'd been to uni with are finishing up their degree, they're all graduating, they're all going off to work. And it really messed with me. And that's when, like I was saying earlier, I decided, okay, maybe this is not for me. I missed my chance. And it was like a lot of that, you know, how, you know, you have to remember to stay in your own lane. But then when things are not going well for us, we tend to sort of look around at other people and go, if everyone else is doing this, I should be doing that. And it really messes with your mindset. But so when I stopped and, you know, focused on my health, started getting the help that I needed, and I felt like I was doing well enough, I started working. I just got a job in like a bookstore and I loved it. I thought, this is it. Maybe let me just work. Let me just do that. But a year into working there, I just so happened to work with someone who was on the opposite shift to me and we'd never worked together. And I was just, you know, when you talk to your colleague, I was like, so how long have you been working there? And he was like, I've been here since 1993.
Whoa.
I was born in 1993. So in my eyes, it was like, my entire life you've been working here? And immediately I was like, okay, I need to get out. I need to get out because I'm going to replace this dude and I'm going to be here forever. And so by then I was also starting to get bored of like just the monotony of the job that I was in. And so I thought, maybe let's go back to school. And I did, and the rest is history.
That's lovely. What a wonderful story. Literally, what a wonderful story of how you came to where you are now. That's so beautiful. I like that.
Thanks.
What bookstore did you work in though? Which one? Barnes and Nobles?
No, so this is the thing. I grew up in England.
Oh yeah.
Um, and the store is called W.H. Smith. It was in a train station in London, and it was great. I loved it. It was like one of the biggest train stations. It's called St. Pancras. And it has the trains off into Europe and back, so it gets really busy in there. And I feel like part of what also made me feel like leaving was like seeing all these professionals coming in every day. You're like, that could be me, you know? Why am I the one serving them when I should be the one turning up looking busy and sweaty in my business suit or whatever?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Hey, that's the Roaring Twenties as we call it.
Hey,
And
there's always something. There's always a journey you've got to go on in your 20s.
exactly, right? Exactly. Like that's what led me to here. I'm in my 20s doing this, and that's what led me to doggone here.
I know. It's insane how sometimes you look back at the things that you've done and you're like, at the base of it, your core goals are still there, but like, you go all this way just to get to the same spot that you were planning to get to. And it's like, really? Really life?
Ooh, you ain't lying about that one. So what
Mhm.
are some current goals that you have going on right
Right now, so I just recently moved here. I'm in Canada at the moment.
now? Ooh.
Um, yeah, so it's weird. I arrived here in September of last year, and it's only like since maybe 3 weeks ago that I've been able to properly explore and actually like visit places and see things, because we've been in like lockdown after lockdown after lockdown. So the goals I had back then no longer exist because it was pointless. I had to just scrap everything. But at the moment, it's really just trying to find work. Um, I loved it. That part of the reason why I'm here is because they have like some really cool labs that I would love to be involved in, that I would love to work in. So I thought, if I bring myself closer to what I want, maybe I'll be able to achieve that goal. But really, right now it's just trying to get work. And second is my podcast, like I mentioned earlier. Like I started this podcast just out of boredom, and I was terrified doing it because part of it was like, who am I? Who's going to listen to me? Like, who cares what I have to say? But once I started and like, I'm getting a few listens here and there, I'm like, wow, someone actually is out there, like paying attention to what I'm saying. And that's also partly why I decided to do this, because it's like, if I am feeling joy from people consuming what I do, why shouldn't I also help someone else do what they do?
That's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's so incredible. Like lovely. This that makes me smile. Honestly puts a smile on my face hearing those words. We all connect and make the world a better place together, and that's what's important.
Exactly.
Very, very important. So the last question I want to ask is what other things would you like to tell people about you?
About me, oh my gosh. um That's a
It's
really
like,
tough
huh?
one. This is so weird for me because I have to be very honest with you. You're the first person I'm like completely socializing with for the first time in forever. I think I've completely lost all my social skills. No, but what else do people want to know me? Well, I one of my major beliefs, and I try to stick to, for me personally, is honesty and trying to be undelusional, because I feel like when you have delusional thoughts in the sense of like not being realistic with what's happening with you, it's difficult to then offer your honesty to other people. It's terrifying. Honesty is scary, and that's something that I've been trying to work on lately, because I find joy in sharing my feelings, my thoughts, in this moment with other people, because there's always someone who can connect with you. And for me right now, it's a lot of loneliness, because obviously I'm in a new place. It's a lot of confusion. It's a lot of oh, did I make the right choice? You know, up and left an entire continent and moved to the other one. So that's really who I am. I just try my best to explore life in an honest and clear-minded idea as possible. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It does. It really does open that door of who you are as a person. It really does. And that's beautiful. Like, I like that. Like,
Nice.
you have that personality of exploring these things in this world that really bring out the true inside of a person. And that's like,
Right.
That's so awesome.
Exactly. And it's like doing yourself a favor, isn't it? If you're just being open-minded to a lot of things, you make experiences for yourself so much easier. If things hit the fan and things go wrong, if you know that up until that point, you were honest, you were kind, you were respectful, you will never regret what you do, because you know you did the right thing. You do it with the most care for other people, and it's really beautiful. And that's why, like, even with my story, with my, you know, how I got into my career, it's like, as hard as it was, I am so proud of myself, because regardless of, I might have messed up, I might have done the wrong thing, I might have said the wrong thing, at least in that moment I knew that I was being honest and true to myself, so I can never regret anything.
I like that so much. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. Thank you, Rumbi. This was such a great interview. I really enjoyed your story, and I cannot wait to share it with the world.
Thank you so much. You're so kind.
No problem. Like, this was incredible. Like, this was so incredible. Like, I cannot wait to tell, like, my friends, my little colleagues, like, I met this incredible person. She's awesome. Like, I always share you guys' interviews so much with the world, because I feel like they're so important and they're needed. Like, to hear all these different backgrounds, these different stories, these different messages, the different careers people are in. It's just, it's incredible. And not only that, it's like connecting the dots, because now you get to hear different perspectives of different people. So I appreciate you in so many ways.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you too for giving me an opportunity to talk.
Of course, no problem. No problem. And I'm definitely going to be on that podcast checking you out. Most definitely.
Yes, of course. Please do.
If you need a special guest, I'll hop on.
Oh, yes. We're making it happen. We're doing it. You're recording this, right? Yes.
Yeah.
We have the evidence.
All right, Rumbi. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Right. You too.
Talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.